We'll start here by looking at the number of reports that are available from Sage 200 BI, starting under titles of finance, customer sales, stock analysis, project analysis, and depending on what area you wish to inquire around, this will provide you with a number of reports to data mine your information on your database. What we'll look at first of all is the structure of the nominal, so that you can see where some of the information is coming from. So looking at this demo database, we start with the lowest numbers on our balance sheet. If we page down here, we can see we're moving into a number of P&L items. And within the P&L, this database has decided to analyse out on some of its P&L, for example, your sales, under cost centre and department. So we've got Birmingham, London, Manchester, under departments such as value-added services, administration and bespoke. So this just gives you an idea of there's no cost centres and departments under the balance sheet, but there are a number under the purchase, the P&L. And if you look here again, it's repeated under the cost of sales. So the nominal code is the same here going down, but it is broken out into these structures here. So if we pop back into the business intelligence, and if we look at the finance area, so we have a number of management reports under the finance title. And if we pick one of those, such as the balance sheet analysis, we can have a look here. I've just opened this up and you can see here the structure. So you've got various criteria that you can analyse under. So it can be a period of time, it can be all departments, and it can be all cost centres. But we can highlight on any one of these cells and we can drill further into this information. So if we go into if we look at here and we say we're going to drill into this figure here, the 17 million, and possibly we're going to have a look at it across the cost centre name here, what will happen is it will open up another Excel sheet and you'll be able to see under this total analysis and liability this balance figure here, and you can see it now under the cost centres that we mentioned earlier, so the administration, Birmingham, factory, London, etc., and where the information is depending on that period. So the financial statement has been restricted now to total assets and less liabilities, which is where we highlighted this column here. If we did drill into just the total assets and repeated the exercise here, it would open up another sheet again, and what you'll see, the financial statement is now being restricted by total assets. If we close off that report there. So if we have a look at a profit and loss analysis report here, so we can see again we've got a structure of a P&L which you do decide on as part of the implementation, and again you've got period and cost centre and department. If you highlight across one of these figures and you do your drill into on this, again the same result will come across, where it will list down all your cost centres across the P&L movement year to date value. And you can then drill in to the cost centres here, and you can see them broken out. So you can see your movement year to date across prior year and the prior year movement. You got various other tasks and utilities around these reports, but these are some of the basic ones that are there. Another report that can be proven useful is the a nominal code trend analysis. So you can see here at a top level with a graph inside, and you can see we're looking at the movement, the cost centres and all the accounts across a number of years. So if we look into this and we decide to drill into this figure, we can have a look again at possibly the account name. And what we want to do is we want to see the data across the account name. So this will be the account name versus all of the years movement figures in there. We can also look at some of the other standard reports in more detail without us having to do any drilling in. So we can see in this one that what's happened is that the cost centre is actually being brought across the top. So what we've got going across here is all the cost centres, and you can see it by movement, year to date, prior movement. So it's just a different way of looking at the same piece of information. If we move into another area that can be part of analysis requirement is around the project accounting. So again, we've got a number of reports here listed out of the box as part of your implementation of Sage 200. And if we look at, we've got things like costs by project in the group of the last 6 months. We have the project revenue as a percentage of costs. So we can see here, these are the customers that are looking at the projects at the moment. Again, we have the drill into and the drill across facility in these reports also. If we look at the hours posted, so we can see the average cost rate and the hours across hours posted per project and accounting period. We can also look at the chargeable hours possibly, and you can see this by employees and subcontractors. So these are the hierarchy that you'll have maintained in your project module here, and depending on the titles that you give them. So you can see the hours and the charge value associated with that. Again, you've got various drill throughs here. You can limit the number of projects that you want to. These are all the projects that are in here. You can look at accounting periods. You can look at what's actually posted to the financials, maybe, and posted to projects. Depending on how you have designed your project analysis setup, is you could drill into the project levels also. And the final one here we've got is revenue budget versus actual. So again, a very popular one. We've got the project codes and the projects that are being worked on. We've got the budget revenue and value, the actual revenue and value, and the variance that's taken place. So again, ensuring that all your data has been updated. You've got very quick information to hand regarding your actuals and budgets for your projects that you have set up. These are just a sample. You must understand that BI is using Excel, so you've got lots of facilities within Excel to add to this. And when we look at some of the standard also, we've got some customers and sales profitability. Thank you very much for viewing this. I hope this has been some assistance, and please do not hesitate to contact Brook and look for contact details on www.brook.ie. Thank you.